What up? What up? What up? What up? You already know what it is. It's all facts, no pain sport podcast. I'm your host. One thread, we gonna let nothing marinate. Get straight to the sauce. Everything sauce. Listen to Always Weezy right now. My music. Made 1-3 featuring my man Tony Dawn. He did.
I'm running this shit. Bitch in the phone, she loving the dick. 30 and 40, that ladder extend. Dick in your shoulder, y'all know I'm too lit. Fees on the rollie, I'm proud of my wrist. Fucking these bitches, I'm proud of my dick. Tip at a show, Glock on the hip. Running through O's, got to a brick. 99 hoes, don't ain't caught on my shit. See what I gross, paw in the wrist. Live by the code, ball like the chip. Max at the one, drum off the bench. Beeb at the 5, light on the wrist. See how I whip, turn one in the trips. Bitches be sucking and fucking for ends. After she bust, fucking a friend. Would it be dripping my mule a cooler? Hating on Louis, I bruise your medulla. Clipping the Ruger, Louis a shooter. Play with my paper, this bullet go through you. Dug on computers, working the Uber. Pussy talk fly, but told on the shooter. Play from a distance, I clip on my crew up. Add a little bait, whip it, I'm two up. Hoes be lustin' and fucking your boo up. Everything white, go wax my jeweler. 62 grams, digital ruler. 10 for her hooters, K for intruders. I bomb on you bitches, you pussies get nothing. Hating on Louis, they know I be stunting. Fork in the onion, pot on the stove, I'm cooking up something. Stunting on niggas, balling on bitches. Whipping these O's and running through digits. Talking these numbers, the lowest I get it.
No comparing these spitters with us, I'm the sickest living. I've been lyrically slipped in Mickey, and this is the mission. If you hear me, can't say you didn't. I'm here, they'll say it really is him. You ain't hearing cliche, it's really different. He get aired if he play, ain't slipping, sipping. So I'm daring these lames out in they living. I don't care if he paid, all ends get ended. When I'm clearing they scene. When I'm bossing up with this talking, don't dare intervene. If I lost you all, which is often, be clear of the theme. I'm walking all that I talk, never ran, I'm a king. And yeah, I'm bringing my henchmen, if you pay, that's the team. Young, relentless, talented, gifted, balanced with mentally challenged sickness, characteristics. That now, cause I've been it with them raps down. Getting it with them rats down. Extended clips, it ain't that foul. I remember this is my past now. I just reminisce, it's just facts. How can I win the band what I rap about? If I'm in, I win on my rap box. I can win off just what I rap about. Substance in every sentence. Been through enough shit, it got me like fuck it in every feeling. Can't stop me, judge, I probably just shrug at a heavy sentence. And without being dug, just kept me digging, sure. 1-3. Let's go, big bro.
Let's talk it. Let's talk it. We here. We tuned in. We did. Uh, when we talking, we gonna make it happen. We lit for the day. That's always Weezy. Me featuring my guy Tony Don. It been out for some while. Been out for some change. I'm still learning how to market and promote my music myself. I try with other independent companies, and it's like they just run streaming forums. You know what I mean? But I'm cool with that. That shit'll mess you up in the algorithm. So you know, but this is what I love to do. This right here. When it comes to boxing, football, sports in general, especially boxing and football. I like to give my facts on what I seen. You understand, and what we already see. And sometimes, by another person giving a fact, not an opinion, you give your fact. Sometimes a person will remember what happened. You dig? But talk to me. Let's get to it, man. Shout out to Mill City Boxing. Mill City be putting on these interviews, man. See, Mill City, he let these people talk, man. Mill City the Vlad of boxing interviews. He DJ Vlad of the boxing interviews, man. But shout out to Mill City. He interviewed Brian Norman Sr. again in a couple weeks. Back then he interviewed, Junior. And the way Junior was talking sounded like a duck, like the Duckmans. Brian Duckman Jr. was talking crazy out his mouth. Then he said, "Oh well, I don't need him, this and that." Then you watch Brian Duckman Sr., just living. his life through his son because he never was a champion, you know. But the point I'm like, this is no disrespect, this is no disrespect, this is what y'all want to know about outside people want to see because when you're on the inside looking in, you ain't going to see nothing but be a yes man. But when you're on the outside looking in, this is what we see. Your son had a fight first, right? So when your son fought and he beat Derek, right? Why your son ain't called Boots out? You understand me? So Boots fought staying the owners. You dig me? He unified. But the shit y'all talking out your mouth would just be crazy. Like, we can't understand as fans, like, bro, like sometimes just keep your mouth shut. At least Bill Haney will make you mad and we see this shit with Bill Haney. But Brian Norman, man, senior, like your son not dead. And what I mean by that is your son put on great performances. You understand me? B don't run. B don't run. B put on a great performance. B put on for the people. And I can't say nothing bad about you. But what you talking out your mouth, like, all right, for instance, this is what we gonna do. We watch you glaze boots when you was here in Philly. We watch you glaze boots and we watch you glaze the world. You can check YSM even on certain videos you have. Yeah, my son beat Crawford up in sparring, but my son got with boots and I see like, boots do this to Bud, this and that. We watch this come out your own mouth. You understand? We watch this come out your own mouth. Then now for you to try to talk bad about these brothers because you did it to Tank, you did it to Bud, now you doing it to Boots, and that we see, we all seen Boots beat the shit out your son. We all seen C4 Albright beat the shit out your son and put him down. So now, us fans, we believe that Bud Crawford and Tank Davis did the same shit to your son when he was 16 years old. You know what I mean? Your son he just lasted in sparring rounds just like a nigga lasting in a 12-round fight. You understand me? Like William Skull or Devin Haney running the whole 12 rounds, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like, bro, keep it real, man. Keep it real. Keep it real. These niggas offering you the biggest bag you ever seen in your life. You know what I mean? You even tell me, shit, nigga offer me the biggest bag I ever seen in my motherfucking life. That you get in it in full. But we understand how you got to break it down. That's your problem. It's nobody else. You know? And me personally, what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing is, they screaming for a turkey opportunity. And what I mean by that is, they want Turkey to snatch it. Turkey will snatch it, but you got to show something. Now you're going over there to Japan, yes, Jin deserve a title shot, but Jin should come over here to America. But this is the crazy thing. Soon Boots beat Stan Jonas, you ran and took that fight. Because you already knew Boots was fighting Stan. Boots ain't had to fight Stan Jonas. He could have fought you. Boots ain't had to fight Karen. He could have fought you, Brian Norman Jr. Before Boots and Cameron happened the second time, you could have took that 1.7 million and fought Boots, but you didn't. You didn't. You took the Derek fight. Then that thing happened to Derek, and it happened to you, and then Derek waited, and then you come back with the surgery. You know what I mean? Fuck around and be Wolverine putting metal in your hand. You know what I mean? We don't know. We don't know nothing. And then you come back and Boots and standing on us before that fight even occurred. You could have fought them, but you didn't. So he's unifying. He's unifying with the best welterweight there. Remember, Stanley Jonas was a champion before all of y'all. And me personally, I'm gonna get to that in a little bit. What I feel about that, but fuck it, we can get into it now. Man. I'm tired. No, I'm watching people call people email champions instead of saying that the fighter ducked them. You know what I mean? You quick to call somebody an email champion, but you won't call the person a duck, the person who ain't wanted to fight, a person that's scared to take the fight. You know what I mean? A person that don't want no problems, a person that's scared to take a fight, go somewhere else, drops the belt, and you call the other person an email champion. Yes, he got the belt through email, but He ain't want to fight him. He did not want to fight that person. Know what I mean? Then when you watching other champions being stripped and then other people being labeled stuff, that's email too, right? That's email too, right? Why? Because the person don't want to fight their mandatories. So if a person don't fight their mandatory and the mandatory person have the interim or the regular and he get awarded the full champ, which he already awarded the full champ once you become a regular. You understand me? It's like with the WBC and the rest of the body sanctions. Everybody else got a super champ, but they have a franchise. Franchise and super is the same shit, man. It's the same shit. You understand me? It's the same shit because you ask the WBA, yeah, it's a super champ, but it's our franchise champ. That's our franchise champ right there. No, that's all the franchise stand for. So yes, Teofimo became undisputed. Yes, he did. But we're not worrying about his like I don't know what the fuck type time he on right now. But the key thing I'm getting to is we gotta stop calling these people email champs when these other fighters is ducking them, man. These fighters is ducking these fighters and it's crazy. And we ain't really seeing the fights that we really want to see. You know? We ain't really seeing the fights that we really want to see. These niggas on some crump shit right now. Niggas on some straight crump shit, man. You know? But at the end of the day, man, B like 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 senior over there making these motherfucking accusations and creating the narrative, bro. Like I remember Menace say, you know you done fucked up, right? You know you done fucked up, right? Cause like you ain't making no type of sense. When you beat Derek, you could have called Boots out, but you didn't. You understand me? So he fought standing on as the top welterweight, the only guy that was a champion longer than all three champs that's ranked right now. And Boots went in there, did damaged goods. You know what I mean? Boop, 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 turned into damaged goods. Get the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? But standing on is strong. He's super strong, but it wasn't his night that night. You feel me? But you want Boots to call you out, bro. Who the fuck is you? You still making $100,000 fights. These bros right now they just offer you 2 million and you run across seas. And that's the mistake you made. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna say it again. Now I felt that was Scooter's mistake too. When Cool Boy went over there, the first thing I felt in my heart, I'm like, hey, that's the wrong move to make. You gotta remember, you have the titles. You understand me? Fulton got the belts. At that time, what anyway had like one belt, two belts, some shit. I think he had one belt, right? Fulton had the two. Like, fuck is you going over there for? I'm not going across. See, nigga, I'm the champ. I'm the nigga you want to unify and fight with to become undisputed. You got to come to America. That's what Fulton should have did. But no, Fulton chose to go over there. Then when his dad touched the gloves and his team touched the gloves, they was like, nah, we don't want to fight. These gloves ain't right. The footage is out there, so this is no alleged. The footage is out there. They expose it, and Fulton was like, nah, I'm still fighting. I came all this way. I'm still fighting. It's the pride of every inner city in America. It's our pride, and me, I'm thinking B making the same mistake. You know what I mean? Because if it go 12, B, you know what's going to happen. If it go 12 over there, bro, you know what's going to happen. So B know what he got to do when he go to Japan. You know what I mean? But what B got to understand is, this is not a legend. You can look up your stuff, look up yourself. Steroids is legal over there, man. Them injections is legal over there, man. You better hit Victor Conte up ASAP. Because Victor Conte, the snap, I'm letting you know. Brian Norman Jr. going over there to Japan, he putting on for America, nigga. You better hit that nigga up with Osterine. Nigga, you better hit that nigga up with that Babylonian Express. That motherfucker gotta do the rust when he get in that ring. You understand me? Like something gotta give. And if you go over there and get your ass whipped by Bruce Lee cousin with gloves on, you better not come back to America, bitch. You better get citizenship in the UK, nigga. Little rat. Better not come back over here. We told you, dumbass, not to go over there. You going over there messing with Hong Kong Fooey and them niggas, you know what I mean? Gonna beat the dog shit out you, boy. We're gonna beat the dog shit out you. You know what I mean? We had the mafia had beat Duckman Sr. all him up. Nigga, your son taking this dive tonight, baby. You understand me? But you gotta tighten up, man. Yeah. And see, and the reason I say that too, because pay attention. Go watch Brian Norman Sr. versus Greg Hackett. Greg Hackett beat that fight. They robbed Greg Hackett got robbed. I'm not saying it because I'm a Philly nigga, but they robbed Greg Hackett. Like senior, like the first round, I thought he was gonna do damage. You know, he got the mechanic hands. That nigga be towing cars and shit. You know what I mean? That shit, that's money there. That's caked up shit. You know what I mean? But I thought he was gonna put the paws on him, but I forgot. I forgot. I forgot. Brian Arnold Sr. was ass in boxing. You know what I mean? When he had his first victory, I remember him because I remember the name. And you know, I seen one of his fights when he won. You know, I thought I was gonna be cold. I was a fan. I'm not gonna lie. But then he started taking them losses. I'm like, dang. I mean, I can't. You know what I mean? Because he looked strong in them. You know, this was prior to all this. You know, but each his own, man. That nigga crazy. That nigga crazy. But yeah, me personally, I think you know they want Turkey to grab the fight. You know, Turkey fuck with boots. So you know, Turkey gonna make it happen. But don't be surprised if Turkey really be behind that. You know what I mean? That million too. Don't be surprised Turkey probably like fuck it off on 2 million. Eddie, you put a million, I'm gonna put a million. Tell them what's up. You know what I mean? So now you gotta go over there and show your ass off in Japan. And that's mighty hard to do. That's mighty hard to do. You know, we watched Dev do it to Cambosis. You know, but how can I say? It was a gifted agenda to award Devin Haney with that, just like it was a gifted agenda when Cambosis was undisputed. I mean, they said Cambosis was undisputed, so who did he beat? Tio. You understand me? You remember, the franchise champ is the super champ. I'm only keeping it tall. Stanley Onis had the world belt of the WBA in 2022. Bud Crawford was elevated to super champ. I'm only saying. I'm only saying. You know what I mean? But everybody believe what they want to believe. You know, to become a lineal champ, you got to be undisputed. That's all I'm informing people. You feel me? To become a lineal champ, you got to become undisputed. You know what I mean? 9 times out of 10, you won't be an ambassador, nigga. You be the real deal. You be the real deal, Holyfield. Holyfield was that nigga, man. That nigga caught Tyson at the wrong time, man. Them niggas was scared of Tyson in 89, 90, 91. Niggas was scared of Tyson. And Tyson would beat the bullshit out these niggas, man. Niggas was scared of Tyson. I don't care what anybody say. Niggas was scared of Tyson. 98? I mean, 89, 88, 89. What? Mike? What? Real deal, no. Real deal, no. Real deal, no. Man, they all loud down here shit. But yeah, man, I was watching old tape yesterday, man. My oldest was out here, down here yesterday with me, you know, telling him to start shooting content of him, what he doing, such and such. You know, my son doing things, man. You know, he doing things, man. You know, about to turn pro soon. You know, we can't give a, take the motherfuckers, but son about to turn pro soon. And but we try and get him down to a certain weight class. The power's outrageous, especially like at 140, 135. But he's trying to get down to 130. Um, and uh, me personally, uh, if he gets to that weight class, it'll be crazy. It's going to be crazy. Um, because his power is crazy, man. I remember his first amateur fight. That shit was like at 183 around here, and the guy was probably like 6 foot, 6'1". And at the time, my son like probably like 5'7", 5'8" around there. And he wasn't got all his victories, man. And I kept telling him, I'm like, yo, you feeling your power, man. So when I promise you, when you drop down and get to these lower weight classes, you're gonna be dominating. And I end up catching the case and shit. got locked up. They violated my constitutional rights and shit, which I'm still trying to figure out to this day what the fuck happened because I ain't do nothing. But make a long story short and a short story long, uh, my son had to fight at 147 and dropped him, put him right down, stoppage, right down. You know what I mean? When I called home, they told me I was happy as shit, man. Cause I was, yo, told that nigga, told him once he dropped down, that shit over, man. Like these motherfuckers ain't gonna be able to deal with his power. What? They ain't gonna be able to deal with that boy power. And we coming for everybody. You know what I mean? I'm just a third eye out there. You know, he got a mean corner. That corner mean. Mean. Shout out to his coach, K.O. Lewis. Shout out to his assistant. I keep forgetting the brother name. You know, shout out to Guzzle, you know, CS, you know, believing in, you know, family orientated, man. Like, you know, everybody know K.O. Lewis is, Coach Lewis is, you know, one of the heavyweights of our time, you know, Philadelphia, you know, the world know it, you know. Shout out Bag Fuel, S.O. Heineken, and Space Coach, you know, KO even train them. But you know, that's my son, real trainer. Shout out to Greg Haggett too. I can't leave Greg out of my son's corner because that's his corner. You know, you got K.O. Lewis, Greg Haggett, Chris Kennedy. You know, you got my family. You know, CS. You know, you got I keep forgetting the brother name. You know, but yeah, my son got a great corner, strong corner. You know, shout out to Parabellum Boxing. You know, my son got a great corner, man. You know, and he be in the ring with elite competition when he spar. It be elite people. You know, and he get people ready for fights. You know, and he's still an amateur. He just picked up boxing a little late. But with the fights, he's not a decorated amateur, but the his performances he had, when you see him, you be like, it's impressive. You know, he put on a show, put on a great show, and he sell tickets. He sell tickets. There's one thing about my boy. He sell tickets. He bring them in. He bring them in. You know, the first time, cause I'm gonna keep it real. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie, cause that's my son. You know, the first two fights, it was family situation. And then when we going back, they find out people was grabbing. They was like, yeah, this the boy I'm talking about, this and that. Shout out to Malik Scott, Deontay Wilder coach. He know of my son. Um, he love how my son fight. My son got the dog in but at that time he was fighting heavier competition, bigger fighters. And the performances he was putting on, it was marvelous, man. It was marvelous. Like, yeah, you could say on some marvelous Hagler, Sean Porter, a little tankish Canelo wish in the one, you know what I mean? With the heart of Pacquiao, you know what I mean? That motherfucker just going in doing his thing. Doing his thing, you know? Love that boy to death, man. I just was happy to see it. And I always told him, I said, a dream is a thought. That's all a dream is. You got to turn it into reality just by doing it. He went to the gym, put his 10,000 hours in, and he's still doing it to this day just to go pro. You know, and that's what we on. He had a little minor setback. You know, but we just tighten up on it. We just want to learn how to keep inflammation down after a surgery. So if anybody have any expertise or any fact that you've been through one, that you ever had a torn ligament, you had to get a surgery like on ACL, etc., or have any type of tendonitis, what's the best thing to use or to take to keep the inflammation down, to go 12 rounds in a fight, or just to fight or work out for an hour, hour and a half? If you have any advice, no, I'll be well appreciated and gladly appreciated, and I thank you now. You know what I mean? But yeah, besides that, I got one of them, man. I got a few, you know. My kid's beautiful, man. I got some, man. Five of them, they ready to go. You know, they ready to go. Shout out to Lubin too. Lubin put on a great performance, man. Lubin put on a great performance. Yes, he did. Got 11th round TKO. You know, he put on for Orlando. He put on for the state of Florida and whole. You know what I mean? You know, Lubin definitely looked great. Now the IBF, Bakram and Lubin. You know, but it's May now, so hopefully by September we get that fight. You know, late August, beginning of September. September we should get that fight. You know, at 154. And if Lubin end up winning, could we get a Boots and Lubin at 154? We can get Boots and Lubin at 154 too. You know, we can definitely get that. You feel me? Um, a lot of people want to say Bud Crawford ducked Tellez because the Canelo fight. But I me personally, man, if you got another fighter or you got a champion and he's moving up a weight class to have another fight, what's the problem? You know what I mean, what's the problem? All right, he got the WBA. Bud got the WBA at 154. He can force the WBA to go up two weight classes and fight for the WBA up there at 168. What's the problem? Because back then, fighters used to, your walk around weight was your fight class. Now, people are like, oh, but 168, 160. I mean, 186, 187. What's the problem? See, I'm going to tell you something about us niggas that was born in the 80s. Man. Weight don't mean nothing to us, nigga. Look at it. We still look younger than them. Than you young, old looking motherfuckers. Us 80s babies, man, look. Nigga, we still strong. Like, nigga, you can put a horse, an ox, a mule, 100, fuck 100, 1 8, 100 apes, 100 grizzlies, nigga. Us 80 babies is super duper strong, nigga. Like, it be like a bag of party mix, nigga. Once you put your hand in it, anything you take out, you won't like, nigga. What you talking about? Beat the shit out you boys, man. Stop doubting these 80 babies, man. Real rap. Real rap. And I mean, it's gonna be a great fight. Do I think it's the biggest fight in boxing that we want to see? No, we all want to see Canelo Benavidez, and we all want to see Crawford Boots or Crawford Virgil. You know what I mean? Really, we all want to see Crawford Charlo. That's the fight we really wanted to see after the Spence fight. It's Crawford Charlo and Benavidez and Canelo. You know what I mean? If it wasn't Benavidez and Canelo, it was M Billy. Cause y'all, we keep leaving M Billy out of the equation when M Billy did that man mandatory. You know what I mean? A lot of people can say that Benavidez ducked M Billy. You know what I mean? A lot of people can say that. But to each his own, because you got a lot of fanboys out here. Me personally, I ain't a fanboy of nobody. I'm a fan of boxing in general. Yo, what up? What up? Yeah, we used to play tackle football on the street. I be telling these niggas, man, they got us 80s babies fucked up. They got us 80 babies fucked up, man. I'm trying to tell these niggas, man, we different. We built different. They don't even get it. We built different. But yeah, like I agree with you. Cause at 147, I'ma be real. Like, but he's not a champion. Yo, you gotta check out the boy Roland Blanco, Rohan Blanco, the Dominican kid. He nice, he strong, he nice, he nice. But there's nobody there for him. And I fully agree with him. I fully agree with a lot of people, because 154, 154 the same too, man. Like everything the same is that they not giving these other fighters their chance. Like I'm gonna be real. Like if you look at the top ranked 20 people in every body sanction, like them young boys is some dogs. They just don't got no big promotional company behind them. That's gonna catapult them to the next level or catapult them to, I mean, at least getting their face seen. But at the end of the day, they got a lot to do with that shit themselves because nigga, it's 2025. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta tighten up. It's 2025, man. You gotta tighten up, man. Like all you gotta do, you pick up a motherfucking phone, turn the camera on, and record yourself. You know what I mean? You're doing it on Instagram, so you should do it on other platforms too. They get some type of notoriety. But if you're gonna push something, the best thing to do it on is motherfucking YouTube. Because at the end of the day, when you put it on YouTube, YouTube go out through the world. The world gonna see it, even on Instagram. But Instagram gonna only going to put your shit in front of a certain people. At least YouTube, you can put it out, even if you run motherfucking ads on it. The world gonna see it, and you gonna be like, yeah, cause that's how I learned to rhyme. I ain't gonna lie. I learned about Ryan Garcia back in motherfucking because I came home from upstate 2013. I ended up going to run 2014. Around 2000, end of 2014, summer of 2014 and 15, I learned about Ryan Garcia, uh, Devin Haney. We already knew who Tank was. We knew who Lamont Roach was. We knew who Shakur was. No, because we on the East Coast, so we know who these fighters is. You know who Boots was. You know, we know who all of these fighters were. In the amateur circuit, Teofimo, and we knew all these motherfuckers. Uh, Adrian Broner, Rashid Warren, Scooter, Rock Tiger, the little brother Beer, Kid Dynamite. There was a lot of fighters out here. There was a lot of fighters out here, especially in the amateur rank. There was a lot of tough fighters out here because shit happens to people. Yeah, Boots versus Charlo, but I'm gonna be real. That's Bud. That's Bud Lick. That's the biggest fight for Bud, man. Fuck Canelo. They could have made Benavidez, Canelo, and Bud and Charlo, cause that shit right there, like just in that Earl Spence situation before the fight happened, them boys had bad blood, and you sure what Bud got up and said, "Hey, that fuck come up, I'm gonna fuck you up." The storyline there, the storyline there, the storyline there, man. But they dropped the ball again. I'm gonna be real. Bud should be a pay-per-view star. Now, I mean, like once he became undisputed the first time, Top Rank was supposed to make these boys pay-per-view stars. Shakur, Teofimo, the young boy Raymond Martel they got right now. Keyshawn did his first event at home, did a milli. Know what I mean? Like that's crazy how they treat them boys, man. That's crazy how they treat them boys. And I'm gonna agree. Breaking news too. Breaking news. Y'all heard it from me first. Well, we already know. But yeah, no nephew-in-law back in July. Know what I mean? Floyd Schofield. Let's go. But this time, man, Oscar, listen, Golden Boy, listen. My nephew-in-law been out here exposing fighters. His last three fights, he exposed fighters. Even though he was a champion, I felt though he got robbed in the Jojo Diaz fight. But my nephew-in-law, the last two opponents, which one he had the rematch, uh, he exposed him. He took Ray 12 rounds, really won the first. And he took Ray 10 rounds. He really won the first 7 rounds. It was you could say if anything, people could say 6'4". Me, I had a 7'3". But people can say 6'4", but I'm gonna say 7'3" in that Montelia fight. But with the two Zepeda fights, the first one you could have gave it to him or called it a draw, which I did. Then the second one, the reason I say I gave it to him because we really watched him hurt his hand in that fight. And when he hurt his hand, William still couldn't do nothing, you know? And so now we know when people use excuses that they hurt their hand, this what a fighter looked like when he hurt his hand. He can't punch. When he punch, he's going to keep saying, ah. We never seen Shakur do that. We never seen Tank do that. You understand me? And Tank made them get caught in their own lie and made the world see it in that pit bull fight because he ain't wanted no excuse. Now, I mean, because it wasn't no excuse. The only thing it was, y'all just gave me a late opponent. I'm supposed to be fighting Abner Mars. That's what I'm supposed to be fighting. The nigga that's commentating the fight right now. That's the nigga I'm supposed to be fighting. But now, three weeks left towards the fight, y'all throw this fucking bulldog at me. I ain't trained for him. I mean, and that day, that night, Pitbull beat Tank. Pitbull, Pitbull was whooping Tank ass so bad they said it was his hand. Then when at the end of the fight, Tank said they were trying to say it was his shoulder, but Tank wasn't going for that. Why you think he never gave Pitbull the rematch? You understand me? Lamont ain't do nothing Pitbull Cruz did. You can ask anybody. You can go back and watch the fight, and I'm gonna ask everybody here and anybody that see the video. Hey yo, who you think won that fight? You think Pitbull beat Tank or Lamont beat Tank? Pitbull did it from the first to the 12th. Everything Lamont y'all think did in the motherfucking ninth on up, Pitbull did that shit from the first to the 12th. Nah, I mean, me personally, I just thought the Tank and Lamont fight, it just was like, oh, it was WWE-ish to me because of the respect. These niggas is really friends. Know what I mean? They really sparring partners. They really friends, and they gotta tell us. So they tell us in front of our faces, and our ears get to hear it, and we get to see it because we watching it on TV. And some people just dumb and still don't catch the shit. They would tell your mom here, or mom's here. Oh, I ain't gonna say nothing. Them niggas used to stay over each other's house. Know what I mean? So you know, Tank ain't gonna try to knock his homie out, just like his homie ain't gonna try to knock himself out. Because all you gotta do, look at it like the same shit Tank did. Like Lamont took a knee in the 11th too. He took a knee. His glove touched the canvas. He took a knee in the 11th. Oh, it was a no. No, the difference is Tank hit him and he leaned forward trying to grab Tank, so Tank moved out his way. We watch a lot of knockdowns was like that. We watch a lot. Shout out my nigga, yeah, Blast Val Saint. It's my youngin' man, Blast. Shout out to Haiti, to all the Haitian people, man. Shout out to Florida in general. Stand the fuck up. Yeah, my guy pulled that shit off. Telling y'all, man, Blast Val Saint, one of them ones, man. And 175, man. Listen, listen. It's a Puerto Rican kid up there, man. It's a motherfucking problem. Najee Lopez is a problem. Najee Lopez is a problem. You know, Pro Box TV got a lot of good fighters, and they put on, yo, they cards be crazy. They cards be well entertaining, man. Shit, the girl fight, the female fight they had, you had the female Pitbull Cruz in that joint. Shit, they fight was better than Devin Haney fight. Was better than the Canelo fight. Shit, that fight was lit. Them bitches threw more punches than both of them motherfucking fights. You know what I mean? All four fighters combined. You know, one thing we see there is um they always they award the aggressor. So if you're the aggressor, they're gonna reward you. You know, they're gonna give you an award, which is, you know, the title, etc. Because the person that landed the most punches in that outbox somebody, that's boxing. You know, that's why I said the rules now is people have an agenda. Is you got to be careful who the judge is. You know, when I was growing up, the person that landed the most punches was always the winner. You know, I don't give a fuck how the fight look, whatever. As long as I'm landing the most punches, and the person that throw the most punches 9 times out of 10 is gonna land the most punches. But when you see now, you see the agenda and shit. You know what I mean? Because you can count it yourself. You can have if if you got sons, you can grab your sons and your nephews, and you can do the calculations yourself, and you want to see your bout your punch output. You want to see what land and what don't land. You know what I mean? And like yo, all you got to do is tell a motherfucker to throw the most punches they can in a minute, and see how many can you dip, and see how many can you land, and you count them. That's when you're gonna know that person, like these people be lying. You see the agenda, and that's what we was always taught growing up, going to the gym or just being outside boxing, imitating what we seen on TV and shit. Oh, we watch it because Sweet Pea my favorite fighter. So just watching Sweet Pea come back outside, imitate, you know, bobbing and weaving. Oh, nigga, you can't hit me, you can't catch me. You know, back then we used to do some crazy shit. Like, you know, back then we used to do some shit like this. We'd get up and we'd be like, nah, man, back every motherfucking way. But at the end of the day, niggas couldn't touch us. You know, when we was kids growing up, like niggas couldn't touch us. Then that's when you go to the gym. They used to make you change your style. Like, yo, what the fuck is you doing? But at the end of the day, when we get into a fight, we end up doing that shit. He's like, yo, what you doing? But you like, nigga, it's working. It's working. That's the key thing is it's working, nigga. Us 80 babies is different. We gonna make that shit work. You feel me? We gonna make that shit work. You know? But to each his own, man. I would like to know who I'm gonna be real, Charlo coming back. No, he a champion recess. So he can come back and fight Tellez, or Charles Conwell took a loss, or come back and fight Charles Conwell. No, because we gotta. I don't know how this July 19th shit is, man. Because they loading up a card again, and I'm gonna be honest, like That one card is 5 cards in one. You know, it's 5 main events in one, man. And these is right now it ain't Turkey. Turkey, you know, probably doing it for the ring, but it's these promoters. And I see what these promoters are trying to do. They trying to get all of the fights out that they can right now. For what reason? I don't know the agenda because that could be TKO. Uh, but something ain't right with this picture, man. It ain't right. It ain't right. You know, and I'm glad, you know, Tank holding on, you know, having big cojones, holding the fort down, you know, of not really trying to give these people what they want. Because we see it with Shakur Stevenson. No, this ain't no disrespect to Edgar Berlanga, none of that, but it wasn't no disrespect to Bivol and Bitterly. But Shakur is a bigger name than all of them niggas. Bitterly, Bivol, Edgar Berlanga, Shakur name. Listen, you got Canelo, you got Tank, you got Shakur. The three biggest names. Yes, we can mention Bud because what he did is Spence, but Shakur name was always bigger than Bud Crawford name. We all know that. We're not gonna sit here and fucking lie. His name been popping since he was a kid. You know what I mean? So out of this yes, you got Canelo, Tank, Shakur. You know what I mean? People understand the West Coast, you know, it's a lot of Mexicans, it's a Mexican fan base out there. So, you know, they heavily populated out there. So, you know, they're gonna hold they people up, you know. But us over here, like, we know, but we don't hold our people up. But Shakur was one of them fucking names. And it makes no sense for him to be on the undercard or co-main event to a main event, which him and his opponent name is bigger than both of them fucking names. William Cepeda and Shakur Stevenson is a pay-per-view fight. I don't give a fuck if that shit do 50,000 pay-per-view. It's good because that's his first pay-per-view. Y'all put him on a pay-per-view. So if you put him on a pay-per-view and you got the 300 buy, because all you got to do is look at the time spike. You know, once you look at your analytics, you can tell by the time spike. You can tell like, all right, Shakur Stevenson, he came on at 3:30. His fight was at 3:30. It was 390K people watching. The bitter then it drops. Then the bitter and Bibble fight come on and it was a 257K people viewers watching. You can check the analytics. So you know that just Shakur Williams and Peter is bigger than Edgar Berlanga and Hamas. But at the end of the day, that shouldn't be no motherfucking co-main event. That should be his own main event itself, like it is right now. So if y'all order Edgar Berlanga to have his home fight, let it be that. But don't put Shakur and Williams and Peter on the co-main event. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Only time you do that is when you trying to catapult somebody. Know what I mean? Like, this is no lie. You can put a Bruce Shoo Shoo Carrington. You feel me? You could put him in that fight. You know, on that card. I mean, you can have a bunch of New York niggas. You know, the fights happen in July, if I'm not lying, right? So we can get, but yeah, this nigga fighting in June. Well, if I was them, I'd push that motherfucking date back and put that shit on a Berlanga card. You feel me? Put that shit right on the New York card. You'll have Berlanga, but Berlanga Shiraz main event. You can put Gambosis and Richard Hitchison co-main event. The reason I say that'd be a co-main event because it could catapult Richard Hitchison. It could catapult it. You know what I mean? Opening up the card, you know, you got Shoo Shoo Carrington fighting for a title eliminator. You know what I mean? Fighting for a title eliminator. Right. This is my little crazy niece right here. It's drum. Go. I need drum. Get that ass out of it. Get your nut ass out of here. Get nut ass out of here. Yeah, but it can catapult Bruce Carrington and Richard Hitchens. But you putting Shakur on that, it's crazy. It's crazy because Shakur Williams and Peter deserve they their own main event in general. Real rap, you can put that shit in Vegas. Yeah, listen, you can put that shit in Vegas. Williams and Peter fill that bitch up. You could put that fight in Vegas, Williams and Peter fill that bitch up. Then Shakur gonna do his numbers because he got a fan base, especially in Vegas. Or you put that shit in Texas, put that shit right in Houston. You can have Shakur versus Williams and Peter in Houston. They showing up. The three landing spots. Texas, you can do anywhere in Texas for Shakur Williams and Peter. Las Vegas, if you ain't gonna do Las Vegas, anywhere in the West Coast for that fight, or between New York or New Jersey. People gonna come out for core. You understand me? They're gonna come out for core, and Williams will wherever Williams and Peter fight, the Mexicans gonna show up for that nigga. Know what I mean? And it's a big fight, man. It's a big fight. It's a big fight. No way they should be co-main event. I'm just being honest. No way they should be co-main event. You know? No way. Then and what's crazy is right. Shout out to Ellie Setback, man. Ellie Setback be getting these great interviews. Uh, with RGBA, Robert Garcia Boxing Academy. Shout out to Big Garcia. You know, shout out Robert. Shout out Pita. Shout out one of my favorite fighters at the time. Mikey Garcia. One of my favorite Mexican fighters. Mikey was a fucking problem. Mikey Garcia was a problem. And Mikey and Pacquiao would have fought. What? That shit would have been crazy. You know, Mikey was the first to do it. He fought Spence. He moved up 7 pounds to fight Spence. But shout out to Ellie Setback. Great interview. Shout out to Robert Garcia for explaining what was happening with the water bottles and their hotel situation. So if you haven't checked it out, hey yo, go check that interview out, right? Robert Garcia was explaining how, the New York State Athletic Commission, they provide water. So when they got there, they say, yo, we're going to provide y'all with your water, your bucket, your 3 water bottles, etc. So they said, all right, cool. So when they got to their hotel room, it was 3 water bottles, a bucket, etc. So they see it. Robert Garcia said, we assuming that it was their shit. So, we ain't got nothing because they said they presented it. So the New York State Athletic Commission end up walking into their room and they say, oh, what's that? Robert Garcia said, I don't know it was here. We thought it came from yo. He said, nah, it wasn't here. They ain't come from us. That's not our shit. We got to provide you. We got to do this. We got to do that. It got to be our water bottles, etc. So he was like, all right. So now, he got somebody over there in Devin room and shit. Devin and them was like, yeah, I know who you telling the guy, yeah, I know who you is. You all in the guy, like, fuck you worrying about, like, y'all watching. So make a long story short, Devin Haney had 3 Nike water bottles. He had all of his own shit. So everything they did to Robert Garcia, they did not do to Devin Haney. And then when they confronted him, oh, he can have that. He can do this. He can do that. Well, y'all just told me that I can't have none of that shit. But he can, like, you see what happened to Ryan. That's all I'm gonna tell people, man. Kimberly, where are you? Where is Kimberly? Kimberly Slumbers, where are you? No. Matter of fact, her name Kimberly Sutherland. That's her name, Kimberly Sutherland. Kimberly Sutherland, where are you? Because what you did to Ryan Garcia is crazy. What you did to Ryan Garcia is crazy. This is my little niece, y'all. Look at my little niece. You see my little niece? Hey, mama. Watch, I'm gonna lie. So Kimberly Sutherland is the lady that did that to Ryan. And now you see with this Robert Garcia situation, what's going on and what happened. You see it. We all see it. And that's crazy. And that's crazy. It's for them just to broadcast that. We see the ties and the links. But hey, to each his own, man. To each his own. Sometimes you gotta tighten up. Sometimes you gotta tighten up. Sometimes you gotta tighten up. Alright?
I like Stu puzzles.
Yeah.
I see two things. This is the real button.
Yo. Oh, get your little butt out of here.
This is
You
the
know
real
what?
button I found.
Alright, go ahead.
This is the real button. I found steps, so no one should touch it.
Alright, go ahead. Yeah, but that's crazy, Jim. When I just was hearing that story, I was like, wow, man. I was like, wow. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I want to know what's next with Jerron Boots Ennis. We might get the T.O. fight. We watching Brian Norman Sr. We watching Brian Norman Sr. telling him don't take no other fight.
I got your cake.
So,
Give me your cake.
We telling him, like, that shit don't make no sense. He got to take a fight. So if he fighting this guy right here, he can fight this guy right here. You know what I mean? And him fighting Tio is a bigger fight than him and Brian Norman Jr. Tio is a bigger name than Brian Norman Jr. He's going to bring in more money. You know what I mean? Because Brian Norman, we can say you duck Tio. Don't Tio got the WBA? Make it make sense. But Senior just keep doing these interviews contradicting himself. B is a monster. I do believe B is a monster. Because we see it. The punch of power the kid got. We just got to see him being tested. For me personally, it's the right fight, the correct fight, but happening in the wrong place. It's happening in the wrong place. He should have made Jinsaki come over here to America. Yes, hold on, my mom doing a live.
You can't get alive.
He should have brought it to America. Because by him going over there, it's gonna be like a Fulton. I promise y'all, it's gonna be like it's gonna be like that fight. Because I'm gonna always say, me personally, I felt those Scooter never should have went to Japan. But it's the Philly pride. I always said it. He should have brought in the way over here. The glove situation would have been different. Over there, like I always tell y'all, steroids is legal over there. But here in America, that shit not happening. So, it's a difference, man. That shit makes a big difference. And, I'm rooting for B. I'm rooting for B. Definitely rooting for B. Jinsaki, he alright. He alright. Ain't really beat big notable opponents that we know of, but he deserved his shot, But when you're the champion, you shouldn't be on nobody undercard. When you're a champion, you should be treated like a champ. You should be fighting at your home base, Because I'm just being honest. We seeing a lot of disrespect. They disrespect Teofimo Lopez on that Friday. If they would have made Teofimo the main event, it would have made sense. Why? Because he's the only person there with a title. He's the only champion fighting that night. You feel me? And then when you even watching the Brian Norman fight, like, bro, that should have been a fucking main event fight. He's the champion. The disrespect. Now you get your opportunity, to be your first headline for outside of the country. You don't think that's a setup? Is your contract about to end, nigga? Is your contract about to end? We see what happened to O'Shaquie Foster. His contract about to end. He robbed the shit out of him. They robbed the shit out of O'Shaquie Foster. Then they promised him, we'll make you champion again if you resign. He was mad as shit, so he resigned for them fucking. No, it ain't pennies to us, but it's pennies to them. He had to resign for them fucking pennies. just to get the title back. Now they promise him, the cool boy situation. And you gonna get your ass whipped coming over here fucking with Scooter. Scooter gonna make Scooter put them Timbs back on, nigga. You fucking around and put the motherfucker chuckers on you niggas. Make them put them North Face boots on and beat your ass, boy. You feel me? But it's coming. That's gonna be a great fight too. Oshaki and Scooter, Schoolboy stuff. What? Great fight. Great fight. Yeah, Greg Hackett got a victory this past week. Unanimous decision. Shout out to Greg Hackett. Uh, everybody screaming Suarez was robbed. You know, with the Navarrete fight. Shit, Navarrete was robbed when he beat Baranchek ass. And they ain't wanted to make him at that time that I know of a two divisional champ. You know, but they gave it to Baranchek. But he's saying it was an accidental headbutt. That's why they stopped the fight. But you got other people that's showing that it was a punch. These YouTube detectives be crazy, man. You can't do shit out here. These YouTube detectives, the motherfuckers like Scooby Doo without the mystery van. I mean, them niggas they dangerous. YouTube detectives dangerous. Scooby Doo, Sherlock Holmes, they got everything in one. These motherfuckers dangerous. But yeah, that fight went on. Um, I don't know. I just gotta rewatch the fight because I was watching the Ruben fight. Because Blast Spouse Saint, you know, my up and coming youngin, and Najee Lopez. I was watching them. And shout out to De Jesus for getting the victory too. You know, but I gotta rewatch that fight for myself. You know, and I was tuned into the Greg Hackett fight. Greg Hackett was fighting. I think the guy named Hot Shot, some shit like that. Greg pulled the victory off. Yeah, Brian Norman Sr. Y'all robbed Greg Hackett too when he went over there to Georgia, nigga. We need that rematch ASAP. We need it ASAP for the TBC, nigga. The Trenches Boxing Champions. You know what I mean? The Trench Boxing Council, nigga. You understand me? For the TBC, nigga. Y'all fighting for the TBC, man. You're fighting for the Trenches Boxing Council. You understand me? It's for the streets, nigga. It's for the hood. Nah, I mean, it's for the hood, nigga. It's for the hood, Buster. Fucking Mark Mighty Gone. That should be crazy. But yeah, man. Oh yeah. Basketball was crazy yesterday too. Uh, I'm calling it, man. I'm calling it right now, y'all. I'm calling it right now. I got Minnesota going to the chip. You know, um, and then I might predict it just like that. I might predict it just like that. You got all right. Let's look at Minnesota. Right, they beat LA, which was what a championship team. Who are they playing right now? And they beat Golden State. They beat what? The championship team. Now we just got to see between us get Denver and OKC shit. Cause remember, Denver won a chip. Remember, Denver won the chip. So if they see Denver in the Western Finals, Conference Finals, and they beat them, they beat three chips. So what is going to make only who? Boston. So when you look at it, they gonna be like, damn, Anthony Davis, which is Michael Jordan's son to me, beat four championship teams. Cause why? He played Boston in the finals and won. Or could it go different? Could it be different? And New York make it. Cause I would love to see New York there. But when when I watch, I'm like, damn, these niggas up. These niggas still two games over there. These niggas up 2-0. Then I watched the first. Then I watched who it was became 2-1. Then I said that's how New York game gonna play out, and it did. Like this shit be scripted. That's why I left basketball alone. You know, even though I see them do that shit to football, but I don't know, football is just a physical sport, you know. It's the only thing that can get close to boxing to me, you know. But yeah, game day night, man. She was Phillies, you know, they like 20 something, 15, 20 something, 16. You know, they got to tighten up a little bit because last year they was balling. I don't know what the fuck going on there. They got to tighten up. You know, the Flyers be about to get a motherfucking draft pick. I don't know shit about hockey, but I know niggas be getting fucked up. That's why I used to play the hockey game on Nintendo for it, just to fight. I'll play double dribble just to do the dunk. You know? But yeah, let me go take care of something real fast. I'm gonna be back later on with the cook up already. Yo, man, we gotta start hit the link next time so we can cook up on these niggas. I'm gonna invite a couple of people here too. You know, I'm gonna start getting some interviews on this. This my first, no, this is my second time really on this restream shit. But I'm gonna start doing some interviews. I'm gonna interview a bunch of up and coming boxers, a bunch of good amateur, decorated amateur fighters, some up and coming amateur fighters, some old fighters, etc. You know, it's just a little setback for me. You know, that's the setback. You know, I wish I was home, but you know, they don't want me there. So you know, I had to go to a place where you know, you know how this shit be. You know what I'm talking about. When niggas trying to case you up and shit. You know, my house cool, man. Swimming pool, gym, roof deck, all that shit. But they made me come to my parent house. So what more can I say? But dang, at least I'm a free man. You know what I mean? Um, my kids come over here every day, then they go home and shit. So when they go home, you know, I just can just look at home through the phone. You know what I mean? But I'm still home. I mean, I'm still out. But tell me, I seen my old videos when we was at my house, man. We gonna start doing them again when I get some leg movement. You know what I mean? Because I'm working and I still can't go. This some crazy shit, right? You know, I got informed, like, yo, my job, see that shit, they gonna end up firing me, you know? Gonna end up firing them motherfuckers. No, all I'm just asking for is just doing my time out. The nigga ain't deviating nowhere. I ain't gotta go home. I'll call my wife, yo, when you come up, got the boys off from school, bring my shit. You know what I mean? Man, keep my bag of clothes, all that shit here. You know, I'm in the studio right there, everything. And I'm not gonna give up on this till I monetize and we take off. You know what I mean? Then I can help. I can start creating jobs and putting people on so they can support their family and put food on that table. You know, like I say, I make music. You know, I know this ain't got nothing to do with sports or boxing right now, but I make music. When you come on, listen to the first song in the beginning of the video. This a song called "08 Wheezy," written by me and written by my homie Tony Dawn. We write our own verses. The beat is produced by Brad Kins. You know, and I heard that beat, I loved it. So I was like, damn. I was gonna call it 98 Hole, but during that time, Benny the Butcher he ended up dropping something called 99 Hole. I was like, damn. But in my head, I started laughing because I'm like, damn, great minds think alike. You know, so I was like, fuck, I'm gonna call it OE Weezy. Why I'm gonna call OE Weezy? Because during that time, which I should have called it '06 Weezy, when the drought mixtapes was whamming '07 Weezy, but in '08 he dropped the Carter 3. You know, and he did like 1.2 or 1.4 million views in 4 days. You know, that's why I said I do that. But let me get back with y'all, man. Get at it, dollar.